welcome to my channel, Maze's Life, where I'm terrible at managing money but trying to get better. So with today's video, I am going to start looking at a spending plan for an entire year. So I got this idea from Personal Finance with Layla, Debt Over It. She has this tracker as well as several others, but also she has this tracker, but it'll be more detailed. But basically, this tracker gives you a year overview of how you expect to spend money throughout the year in these certain expense categories that you can see here on the left hand side. And it also tracks your net income. So these will be the two categories that I'll be tracking in what I'll call my 2024 spending plan. Yes. So her tracker, if you go to her channel, you can download this, and it also will help you track your dividend income, any business income, money applied to debt, money sent to the overall debt, and so on and so forth, investments, etc., savings, etc., etc. But that's a little too much for me to track with everything else that I track. So as well as I don't have dividend income and multiple types of investments that I want to track. So I do want to track my expenses. That is something that I need to get better on. So this will be my 2024 spending plan. And we'll just go through it all. So, for my expenses with subscriptions, I don't have that many subscriptions. Although I have a Netflix account, an Amazon account, Hulu, HBO Max, I only will pay for the subscriptions when I plan to binge watch a show. So I will also wait until the season's over, or almost over, and then I'll binge watch the entire show in a weekend. So that way I don't have to pay for a subscription throughout the year. However, one subscription that I do like is the NFL app, and I watch that on my phone. So that's the only subscription that I plan to be spending money on in 2024. Alright, so then, as you can see here, if I were to put in $25 for my yearly goal, right here, you just add this in right here. So, subscriptions, $25. So that means that sometime throughout the year, let's say I spend $5 here, I spend $5 here, $5 there, it's going to add up. And I don't have this on this line added up. Let's try this next line. Why isn't these adding? Alright, okay. So I need to correct a few of these lines. Okay. Alright, but yes, so it should add up. And then at the end of the year, you would have spent this much, and then you would compare it to the goal right here, and hopefully you come to that goal amount, not over, preferably under, for majority of these. Anyways, so let's remove all that. And let's go to the next category, which will be my personal beauty spending. So my year goal is to not spend more than $2,250 towards any personal or beauty expenses. Then my next goal would be for parking or my work expenses. So I do have to pay for parking at work, but also if I ever decide to go out downtown, because I already have this parking work category, even though it's not work expense to go out downtown, I will just put it in this category because it's parking. So $750 for my parking and work fund. Well, it's not a fund, but a budgeted expense. Then here for my renters and car insurance, I expect to spend around $1,500 for the entire year. I am in my mid to late 20s. I am a female. I do just drive a Hyundai Kona, so I don't have that expensive insurance. It is full coverage. My renter's insurance is up to $300,000, things to that effect. So it's not the cheapest. It's not liability coverage. It is full coverage. All right. Then moving down to my utilities that I pay directly to my apartment complex, as well as the security camera systems that I pay for my apartment complex as well. I'm budgeted to spend around $2,500 a year for that. The utilities that I pay directly to my apartment complex is the water, sewer, and trash. Then moving down to SMUD, so that's my electricity bill, so my AC. I hope to not spend any more than $1,250 throughout the entire year. The main expense for that will be during these hot summer months in May, June, July, August. Alright, so then for my phone, I expect to spend no more than $750. So this phone bill or phone expense will cover my phone bill. It'll cover if I need to purchase a new case, if I need to purchase a new phone, get a new plan, fix the screen, anything to that effect. $750 is what I want to budget for the entire year. Then for the fun category, and the fun can be a plethora of things, but I'm just going to keep it small because I am trying to pay off debt, but I want to budget $500 for fun for the entire 2024 year. And moving down to household, I would like to budget $750 to go towards anything that I may need around the house, whether that's cleaning, decor, sheets, bedding. $750 I think will be good for the year. Since I already have everything, just need to stock up on some things or replenish. So my electronics and Wi-Fi category, so that will be my monthly Wi-Fi bill, or internet bill, sorry. And then it'll also include things like if I need to buy a new computer, if I need to buy chargers, cords, random miscellaneous things. I'm going to budget $1,500 for the entire year for that electronics Wi-Fi category. Then moving on to my gas, this is the gas in my car. I'm planning to budget only $1,250 for the entire year. I do have a hybrid work schedule, so I do get to work primarily from home. But if I start the second job, as well as if I ever want to go out and do things like hike, hang out with friends, need to make sure I have a little wiggle room in the budget. So now moving down to gifts, I'm going to budget $550. That'll be things for my parents and some of my friends for their birthdays, maybe even holidays. Alright, so for the food out budget, I will be budgeting $1,500. I think that's a relatively good amount. I know I'm trying to pay off debt, but like I said before, I will be paying off debt while still enjoying my 20s. And if I want to eat out, if I want to have a little fun money, then I will be doing so. Within reason, but I will still be doing so. Alright. Oh, So then moving on to tithing and to church. So I have never tithed before. Um, I know you're supposed to give 10%. I'm gonna start off with $600 for the entire year. I know it's not a lot. It's only $50 a month, but that's where I'm gonna start off with. All right, so then moving down to my debt. So my goal for the year is to pay off $35,000 of debt. So I put $35,000 here. I have no idea how I'm going to accomplish that without getting a roommate, which I sort of kind of have, and a second job, but that was my goal, so it's right here. Ooh, we'll see how that works out. So for savings, I still need to save $1,000 for my $1,000 emergency fund, as well as the bank that I use, Chase, just sent out letters in the mail stating that we now need to maintain a minimum daily average of $1,500 a month in our checking account starting in March. So I do have some time. But if I don't have $1,500 as a daily average in my checking account, then I will be charged a new increased fee every single month. And I already have less than $1,000, so I'm already paying that fee of $6 a month. But the increased fee goes to $12 a month, and I don't want to do it. So it's a banking fee. I know I could just not have Chase, but for right now, I'm just going to keep it for right now. So, moving on to car maintenance, so things like oil changes and whatever else that they tell me I always need whenever I get an oil change. I'm budgeting $375 for the year. And then for travel, I'm going to budget $1,000. I have some things planned here or there with a friend's wedding and with my dad's retirement party planned for later this year. So I'm going to budget $1,000 to cover plane for both trips, and then for my friend's wedding, just the hotel and food. It'll be in Mexico, so hopefully I can make that stretch. Alright, then moving down to my cats. So there's cats, but I only have one cat. And I will budget $700 for the entire year. She doesn't eat much, so $700 for the entire year. More than enough for her. Then we have my groceries. So I'm going to budget $3,000 for the entire year for groceries, coupled with the money that I'll be spending, like with travel during my travel time, money I'll be spending eating out, money that I'll be spending when I'm out having fun. The $3,000 should more than enough cover me, hopefully. I do recognize that there is inflation, but fingers crossed, $3,000 is all it takes to feed me for an entire year. Alright, so now for my health. So this does not include my insurance payment that I pay every month of a couple $100. But instead this will be like my co-pays, how I go to the gym, prescriptions, things like that, to that nature. $750 for my health. Alright, and then I also want to track my rent. It's pretty much the same month to month, but just want to track it because it will be an expense. So $15,750 throughout the year. I also have it budgeted that way in case I receive a rental increase, which I do expect that I will because of where I live. So almost $16,000 will be my rent for the year. So now, lastly, I have budgeted $6,000 for retirement. My retirement is automatically pulled out of my paycheck every month. So I do know the exact amount that I'll be getting, taken out. But I wanted to keep these all rounded numbers, and then in this year-to-date column, if it turns out to be in an amount that ends with, I don't know, like let's say $6.99, you'll see that it'll be that 99 cents that'll show there. And then let's say if I were to do 589 630, that's just a random number I just made up, you'll see here that that'll be 98% of my goal. But something I did want to point out as well is, in order for me to meet this yearly goal, I will need to make over $79,000 after taxes. That is where my roommate and second job will come from, and hopefully I can start that soon. But I think I can do it. But this will be my first year really budgeting and then sticking to a budget. So I know that a budget's going to be wrong. I said that before, that budgeting isn't something that you do once, but it's something that you do multiple times. So I'm just going to take this year as a learning lesson and use it to get better in the future. Alright, well, other than that, that is the breakdown of my 2024 spending plan. Thank you for following along. If you stay to the end of the video, I'd love to have you join this journey with me, so hit subscribe, click the like, and leave a comment down below. My next video will be out tomorrow, and if you have any advice for me, please leave it down below, as I would greatly appreciate it. But other than that, thank you, and until then, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.